What's up YouTubers, this is Slowmore94 here, and this evening I will be conducting my first review on Star Wars figures. Tonight I'm going to be comparing two favourites of mine. Now, these are both very special to me. This one in particular, as it holds a lot of sentimental value. So here we have the one of my favourite versions of Darth Maul. This is from the Star Wars Episode 1 Hasbro toy line from 1999. Now, this one is, I believe there were two editions of this particular one made. There was one, sorry, I think that's the this little stand thing there. There's one where you had the the bottom part of his mantle, I suppose, made out of plastic. This one, it's made out of I believe some kind of cloth. This one I kind of prefer in a way, mainly just due to the fact that I just think it looks more realistic. I actually really like the paintwork on his face as well. I think it's very detailed. I like the. A lot of people don't like it because they think the sculpt of the head's done really weirdly, but I think it suits it really well. I think that they've got all the stripes pretty exact and spot on. I just think it's a really nice. I think it's just a really nice figure in general. The only thing I will say is it's a very old model. It's 1999, so it's how old now? 15 years old. This can have disadvantages because it means that they're just not as adept, I suppose, as designing toys as they are now. There is a real significant lack of articulation, as you can see here. It's actually really hard doing this because I'm holding the video camera with one hand and then I'm doing this with the other. You can only move the arm vertically like this. It doesn't twist in any way. There's no articulation in the wrists whatsoever. You can, I think, yes, you can just about, where you can move the legs. Sort of. Well, okay, you can twist both the legs to like a 90-degree angle. You can't move the legs up and down on this one. That's one thing that I do find quite disappointing. His left arm doesn't move at all. This one moves just. I do like the way that the one lightsaber blade can be removed, so it kind of because basically there's the one scene from Episode 1 where he's fighting Qui-Gon with just one blade, so I think that's quite good in a way. However, I'm kind of disappointed that it didn't come with a hood and a cape. Really, I think that's what it could have done with. Overall, yeah, it's a nice figure, but the reason why I mean, it's not necessarily the design which is the reason why I like it. It's just the fact that this was I believe one of the very first figures I ever owned. I rebought it quite recently because I think I probably lost my original one. But this one's always been quite special to me just because it's one that I've had for a long time. Well, not this particular one, but I've basically had this figure for a while. Yeah, I really like it. It's cool. As for my second one, this is the super articulated 2010 vintage collection Darth Maul under the brand Kenner Products. Super articulated is definitely the name to give to, I would say, because he can sit down, he can twist his legs, his arms move, his wrists move, his head moves, which is also good. Does his head move from here? His head moves. This guy's head moves just a tiny little bit, but this one especially. He comes complete with a hood and a cape. I have his hood right here, actually. Yeah, I really like this one. This one was a bit more money to buy, but that's going to be an issue with vintage collection figures because they are, of course, vintage. And yeah, I mean, the vintage collection started around 2010. I can't remember if that was the year this was made. It might have been a year after, but I don't know. The one thing I will say, I don't know if I like the head sculpt on this one as much as I like this one. I think this one complements. I think this one It looks more like Darth Maul's head than this one does. And also, I think they really overemphasized the horns on this one in comparison to this. Darth Maul's horns are not supposed to be that big. There are a lot. There are worse figures where they've really gone over the top with the horns. I'm actually going to. There is one figure in particular that I'm going to do a review on as soon as I manage to get my hands on the figure, where the horns are absolutely ridiculous. This one's okay. I do like the face paint though. The paintwork for the face is it's better, but I think there could be some more definition in the eyes there. I don't think the eyes are. It's almost like his eyes are rolled back. Probably could be some more accuracy there. As for his Sith robes, I think they are absolutely beautifully done. They are immaculate. You have real detail, and it just looks a lot more like how Darth Maul should look. You've got the complete. You've got all the proper fabrics used for his cloak. So you can remove this. It's just that I'm finding it a bit difficult. I'm going to invest in a proper camera, which I won't actually have to hold while I'm making these videos. It is overcomplicating things a little bit, and I do apologise about that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like a bit of a noob at this. Actually, I haven't made videos very much, as you can probably tell. I'm going to just try and remove this using my one. Actually, I'm just going to lay this down a second. Okay, there we go. Sorry for that. Okay, I've finally removed it now. He's one thing I will say, he's not very sturdy. This one is probably a little bit more. He does stand well. Okay, neither of them are really. It's a bit of a job to get either of them to stand up, really. The one benefit of this one, I'll probably say, is the fact that he comes with his little stand, you know, which I'll just show you now. There is an actual, there's like a comlink device you can get with one of these that makes them do the character sounds. Most collectors are probably aware of these and probably owned one at some point. Unfortunately, I don't have one. I used to have one when I was very young, and they were really fun because not only could you collect the figures, but there was also the incentive to buy these because you could connect them to the comlink and you could make all these different sounds or whatever. It was really fun to use, actually. So I definitely need to try and find one of those. I'm not sure how expensive they'll be now, but I'll try and put in an offer of one of those at some point. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I probably could have gone a bit more into detail, but this is about the best I can do at the moment, and it's the fact that I'm having to hold the camera while I'm holding the figure makes it a little bit more difficult, so I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. I'm not sure if the blackout is the most appropriate song actually for a Star Wars video. It might be. I'm not sure if it's the kind of thing they use or not, I don't know. Yeah, so that's kind of all I have to say about these, really. But the main thing is, this one, there is another version which I mentioned earlier. It was released maybe just a few months before this one, where the bottom part of his robes were made out of were just made out of plastic, which was I think that was the first ever one I got, actually. There isn't much difference, but I suppose this one, just for the fact that you've got it made out of this cloth material, makes it a little bit better. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say, really. So yeah, anyway, I don't normally like to kind of decide for myself which I think is better, because I think they're both very nice in their own particular way. You have to consider this one was made 15 years ago. If there are a few things about it that make it slightly weaker than this one, I think it's all down to personal opinion, really. So yeah, please do comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think is the better one. I mean, I imagine most people have said the vintage collection one, namely because of the significantly more expensive price you had to pay to buy it, and also because of the detail of the paintwork there. I don't really agree with these horns, so that's the only thing I'm going to say. Right, I think that concludes this video for today. Thank you very much. Please do subscribe to Slow Mo 94. So yeah, ciao, and may the force be with you.